These are my video notes. There's things that, no. No. Ah. Oh, he actually like ate a chunk. He ate a chunk. Look at, he ate a chunk. These are my notes for today's video. And this is like my dog just ate my homework. My Colt just ate my notes. Today's video is something that I have a really hard time talking about, and it is my heart horse. And I'm missing him a lot today. Today's November 10th, and today's the anniversary of when he died. And I have to tell you something though. So my heart horse, his stall was number 3, and that's Manzer's stall now. So just kind of happened that way. And I don't keep my horses stalled at night or anything, but it's just, now don't you go being a stinker to me. I'm sitting here with you because you're cute. Don't go biting me. So I may need to move just a smidge further away since somebody wants to chew on me. So I'm gonna sit over here just so I'm just a little bit further away. That way he can still be here and you guys can hang out with him, but I don't have to worry about him biting me or stealing my notes. So yeah, today is the anniversary of losing my heart horse. And if you're new here, my name is Brandi, and this channel is all about horses and my journey with horsemanship. So if you want to learn more about horses or follow my journey, you can start by subscribing and be sure to turn on all notifications so you never miss a video. Well, hello. Hi there, guys. Hi, buddy. Hello. It's okay. You don't have to get up. Nika. You don't have to get up, little dude. Oh. Nika's yawning. Manzer's like, oh my goodness, I feel so good. Oh, great. Rub your head all over in that pile of poop. That's nice. That's great. Yucky, hey? That's gross. That's gross. Does it feel good? Oh, my goodness. Nika, you scared us both. I gotta show you, though. Check out this coat. Look at how nice and thick that is. He is so well equipped for winter. It's so soft, too. Tomorrow is Manzer's 6-month-old birthday. It's his half birthday. He'll be 6 months old tomorrow. Boy, this little guy sure has just been a joy. Tomorrow is also Veterans Day. It's November 11th tomorrow. So big thank you to all of our veterans out there. Veterans Day is very near and dear to my heart because my husband's in the military. So we are a military family. Let's talk about what a heart horse is. Heart horse, in my opinion, is a horse that makes a big impact on your life. And one that just kind of stands out a little more than the rest. And you can have, maybe you've only ever had one horse in your life, maybe you've had many, but a heart horse is definitely one that you never forget. So what I want to know is, comment below and tell me about your heart horse. I would love to hear the story about the horse that made a big impact on your life. Maybe it's a horse that you have now, maybe it's a horse that you had many years ago. But I know that a lot of my subscribers are experienced or long-term horse owners. So I know that you guys have some heart horses, and I want to know all about them. So leave me a comment below. Tell me about them. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about mine. So now you guys are going to get a little bit of the Stella show too, because she's going to be running around by that gate over there, back and forth. Look at her. She's like, I'll just climb through the fence. She knows she's not allowed to do that. So she'll just like put a leg in and then realize that, no, I shouldn't do that. In my life so far, I've had a couple heart horses, but I'm going to tell you about the one that's made the biggest impact so far. He's also the only one that's not with us anymore. So in 1990, I was 10, and I got a horse named Poco. And Poco was the sweetest little bay gelding that you would ever see. Poco had the kindest soul and the most gentle eye, and he was just a treasure. Now, my goal is to get through this video without crying. So we'll see. It's really hard for me to talk about him. And it's been, well, right now it's 2019 and he died in 2012. So it's been 7 years. And I still miss him just as much today as I did the day he died. Manzer. Okay, so Poco was best friends with Miss Kitty's mom, and they actually pulled a sleigh together for many years. And if you are not familiar with, if you haven't seen the video I have about Miss Kitty's mom, I'll post that above so you can check that out. And I'm gonna get up because right there is the moment where he gets up and then like jumps on me. Nika and Poco were pretty darn close too, and you know, it's funny because when you get used to something being a certain way, so like when I would go out and I would call the horses, it was always Nika, Poco, and Miss and then Miss Kitty would follow suit after that, and I sometimes will still do that. So I go out to call for her, and I just can't help it. I still say his name. It's been 7 years. She says, yeah, I miss him too. But now when I go out there, it's Nika, Manzer. Yeah. And they come running. Okay, so Poco taught thousands of kids how to ride. Poco was also in a movie called Catfish, and it's funny because I had no idea that he was in a movie until I took my nieces to go and see it. And actually, we went to go see a different movie, and it was sold out. So they said, you know, Aunt Brandi, the movie Catfish looks really interesting. Let's go see that. And I was like, okay. And so here we are watching this movie, and all of a sudden, here comes my horse on the big screen, and I was shocked. And then there was me. It was really very strange. And so yeah, if you haven't seen the movie Catfish, it's an older one, but check it out. Very different. It's a neat movie, though. It's something that I think people should really see. But yeah, how cool that my horse was in a movie. So with Poco, you know, I was so lucky because I got to grow up with him, and I told that horse more secrets and just talked to him. And you know, he was my best friend, he was my therapist, he was everything, and I don't know what I would have done without that horse. But we spent the summers running through fields, and my best friend had a horse growing up as well, so it was so fun because we would just go out on our horses and we just had the best time. So we would race through fields, we would go out on trail rides. Poco and I went to shows. We spent our summers going to a bunch of horse shows, and barrel racing was our thing. And in '94, we qualified for Quarter Horse Congress, so I got to go and compete there, and that was just an experience of a lifetime. So all these memories that I have of him are so special, and I'm just sharing just a few of them with you today just to talk about him, because he's not one that I've ever talked about before on my channel. I keep his legacy alive, but I cry when I talk about him. So it's hard. It's so hard. Poco is essentially the foundation of my entire riding program. I started giving lessons on him when I was 12 years old, and I would actually ride around to the neighborhood kids' houses and give them lessons, and I made $3 a lesson, and I can't even tell you how many kids have ridden that horse. My guess, if I were to guess, I would say it's in the thousands. There's so many kids and adults too that learn to ride on him, or, you know, said, hey, I had this really bad experience with a horse and I love them, but I'm so afraid of them. And I'm always the type of person to be like, hey, let me show you that it's fun. It doesn't have to be scary, and I have the perfect horse for you. So here's Manzer trying to eat my notes again. Horses have always been a very large part of my life, and so when my husband and I started dating, one of our first dates was on a trail ride. So, and he took Poco and proved to me that he was the right guy. My husband actually proposed to me on Poco, and that was very special. And I mean, it's a special day anyway, but then you throw that in there, and it just makes it that much more special. I rode Poco while I was pregnant with my daughter, and I even taught a clinic riding him, and I trusted him so much. I knew he wouldn't do anything. Poco was the first horse that my daughter ever felt breathe on her face. I'm sad that my kids never got the opportunity to know him. Tova was only 4 months old when he died. He was so sick at the end, and I spent a lot of time with him. And I had this newborn baby, and, you know, I had some postpartum depression issues, and I think, you know, all that time I got to spend with him really helped. And it was so sad to see him go. It was so sad. My husband buried Poco in the perfect spot on our property, and he buried him with dignity. And he even, when he buried him, he wasn't happy with how he was positioned in the hole, and it was pouring rain, and he climbed down in the hole and moved him the way that he thought that he should be laid to rest. Manzer's over running around with the dog. But to this day, Miss Kitty will go and stand over where Poco is buried, and she just stands there by herself and just looks right at his grave. And, you know, it's crazy how horses they just know things. I don't care what anybody says. Horses know things. Every time I see her do that, it immediately just brings me to tears. I can't help it. So my question is, if you've met Poco, or if you were one of the lucky ones that had the opportunity to ride him, leave a story or something that you remember about him in the comments below, and help me keep his memory alive for all of those who never had the opportunity to meet such an awesome horse. The hardest question that I answer on a regular basis in my barn is, who is Poco? And the first time I heard a kid say that, I was like, how can you not know who Poco is? It dawned on me that this was going to happen more and more. And it's just so sad because he touched so many lives. And I just can't imagine not knowing him. He was the very first horse. When we bought our farm, he was the very first horse that we unloaded from the trailer and put in the pasture. So I'll never forget that, you know. He will always be that first horse in so many ways. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I'm sure I probably made a few of you cry. But this is just really something special that I felt that I needed to finally share. And I promise I'll share more about him, because I have so much to share. Someday I would love to write children's books about him, and just to keep his legacy going. And this is why I have Manzer in my life, because there's just a void there that kind of, I don't know, I just feel like I got a void that needs to be filled. And this little guy, I don't know what he's going to become, but he's pretty darn special to me. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.